This is the only dharma where you have a vision and a way of life to accomplish that vision.
I cannot find it outside. And even if I find it outside, it will not be lasting. And therefore the aim of the Vedas is to initially fulfill our personal desires and gradually take us to spirituality and help us discover the inner source of permanent peace, security and happiness.
60 years ago, a child was born in South India who would become a foremost exponent of Sanatana Dharma and its philosophy of Advaita Vedanta. He would adorn the spiritual throne of the Sringeri Sharada Peetham and join the unbroken chain of Jagadgurus, stretching back in time to the great philosopher saint Sri Adi Shankaracharya. He would teach the world the importance of Sanatana Dharma even in today's modern age. He would teach that one can indeed live a normal life and attain both material prosperity and spiritual fulfillment. He would help all seekers in making the journey to the divinity within themselves and find its blissful nature.
So I know our Sringeri Acharya is a traditional and very well informed, well respected and an authority in our tradition and sampradaya. If you have a doubt, we can go to him and ask him and he can resolve. That kind of a stature, not by position, but by his own learning, by his own scholarship, he is respected by all of us. And therefore, he is Acharya.
This is a tribute to the great sage Jagadguru Sri Bharati Tirtha Mahaswamiji, the 36th Acharya of the Sringeri Sharada Peetham. The ancient tradition of Sanatana Dharma was revived by the philosopher saint Sri Adi Shankaracharya over 1200 years ago. If today the followers of Sanatana Dharma can visit a temple and spiritual seekers can correctly interpret the meaning of the Upanishads, it is because of his efforts and writings. In order to preserve and foster Sanatana Dharma, Sri Shankaracharya established 4 Peethams or centers of learning in the 4 directions of India.
the beauty and the greatness of the Sringeri Peetha is that the Guru Parampara is unbroken for the last 1200 years.
And starting from Sureshwaracharya himself, we have got a wonderful lineage to perpetuate this tradition. And every Acharya has been almost an avatara or an embodiment of Sakshat Sharada Devi herself. And the devotees have experienced that. And fortunately, we have got Sri Bharati Tirtha Mahaswamigal also in our midst to continue that illustrious tradition. And Mahaswamigal has been the representative of Sanatana Dharma, both the Veda Purva Bhaga as well as Veda Anta Bhaga. And Mahaswamigal continues to guide so many disciples who are the spiritual seekers.
I had questions and doubts, and I could find no one who was able to resolve them. Eventually, my inquiries led to the study of Vedanta, but even here, any knowledge that I gained from reading and discussion remained at the level of theory, and it all felt more like a burden than a liberation from ignorance. Then I had the greatest good fortune of receiving darshan of Sri Bharati Tirtha. The blessing of his actions, words, and presence accomplished in me what my own efforts had never managed to do, and that was to sweep away my doubts and uncertainties about the divine goal and the path to it.
Their humanity. And therefore the teachings are many and varied in keeping with the level of the people. Therefore, whatever is relevant for one person or one group of people will not be relevant to others. And therefore, if we superficially look at the entire Vedic teaching, it may appear to be confusing and also in some places contradictory also.
It's a very beautiful tradition. Therefore, Guru is not dispensable. He is not dispensable if you want to have jnanam. If you want to get confused, then you can read on your own. Desire to know is converted into desire to hear, and in order to hear the Shastra, he is ready to hear any command. Therefore, Kinkaraha. He becomes a student who can be called Kinkara. Kim na karoti di Kinkara. Enna sheyya matanartha. What he will not do for the teacher's sake. That is the attitude. So this attitude is pakka, is a total surrender, which is very understandable. And therefore, they have to be handled. Only a live teacher can handle. And a live teacher, how did he become a teacher? He had a teacher. How did he become a teacher? He had a teacher. How did he become a teacher? There was a teacher. Who is the original teacher? That is Ishvara himself. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmad Acharya Paryantam Vande Guru Parampara. Sringeri, Guru, means he is a sampradaya with. He knows this sampradaya. And therefore, listening to him is to exposing yourself to a pramana. And therefore, acharyas are people achinoti, swayam acharati, anyan acharayati. He is called acharya. The one who teaches, the one who lives, and one who makes others live. He is called acharya. Sometimes the acharyas get stature because of their preetams. Sometimes the preetams get stature because of their acharyas. Sringeri has two types of twofold stature. One is because of the Acharya it has got a stature, and because of this stature, of course, the Acharya becomes important. Both ways. That's how I look upon Sringeri.